questions they discuss in the group, and then you collect the feedback from all the groups. And then there is a debriefing session where the facilitator provides the solutions to the problems. And finally, there is a clinical problem that the students solve in groups. So basically, it's the last assignment, which is extremely important. And readiness is for the clinical problem that the students need to prepare. And that takes the learning to a very high level. And next slide, please. So flipped classroom strategy can be very helpful in engaging the students. So this is the toolkit you must have if you want to hold the interactive lectures, encouraging students' engagement. Like handouts can be given to the students. These are learning resources. They can come prepared. Your handouts should not have all the details. Some fill in the blanks should be given to the students. They can fill up in during the lecture. Some additional points can be written by students during the lectures. You can use whiteboard. You can have PowerPoint. That is, you should have, this is your tool. Some videos and animations considering the diverse group of students. You can have some clinical vignettes, case studies, or clinical problems to activate the prior knowledge, or you can have to elicit the performance during the lectures. You can even insert poll questions to see whether they are actually there in the lecture, and also about their retention of knowledge. You can use short quizzes or multiple choice questions, again, to assess their retention of knowledge. And similarly, stories, narrative scenarios can be fit anywhere. Some visual materials like X-rays, photographs, slides, specimens, real objects, charts, diagrams, statistical data. This can also be used to assess the problem-solving skills of the students. If you are using a case-based approach or problem-solving approach, even you can use a sequential approach. You need to have a paper case or real life experiences can be shared. And crossword puzzle, concept maps, anagrams, these are to activate the prior knowledge. So these tools can be used anywhere as you feel appropriate. Next slide, please. These are some digital teaching tools that can be exclusively used for e-learning, like Socrative. This is for assessment, where multiple choice questions, short questions can be assessed. And there are several tools available in Socrative that can be used. Even for spotting, OSCE, that can be used. Google Classroom, Google Forms, Microsoft Forms, these are quite popular, and I don't want to explain about them. Flipgrid is a site where the students can create their own videos, so they can demonstrate skills. Like in physiology people, they can ask the students to demonstrate some skills on them. Even we can have seminars also. We can give some assignment to the students and tell them to record a video and share the video with other students, and also with you. You can grade those seminars. This ED puzzle is a kind of way to insert some multiple choice questions and your own voice in the commercially available videos. Like YouTube videos can be customized according to your needs. Padlet is another tool where you can, in the chat box, you can give a question and also the link to Padlet, and ask the students to write their responses, and you can see immediately their responses, and you can provide immediate feedback. Picmonic is again a tool. This is very interesting. You can find around 2,000 or maybe more case studies. Every case can be found, and it's in the form of cartoons, and funny videos are there, and students like it very much. And I provided the link, and you can see yourself also. It's very easy to remember those cases and their clinical manifestations. Peer Deck is part of Google Slides, so it's also a way to make the sessions interactive. And Screencastify, you can capture the images of online sites, and you can insert those images in your presentations. And this is Teachers Corner. 20 teaching tools are there, like concept maps, anagrams, and the crossword puzzles you can create and use them in your presentations. And YouTube videos need no introduction. You can create your own videos. And Kahoot, I think Dr. Bedi will explain more about Kahoot. So these are teaching tools which can be used in your presentations if you are having e-learning. Next slide, please. And you must have a lecture plan before going for the lecture. So these columns explain about the timing, teaching activity, student activity, and the resources. As I said, 5 first minutes should be for introduction. It may be case study or about a scenario, your personal experience, anything. What the students are doing, they're listening, or they may be responding to your questions. And what are the resources? You may use PowerPoint, you may use flashcards, you may use anything as I have explained. Next 20 minutes are for content 1. For example, you can explain the epidemiology or etiopathogenesis or clinical picture, and the students are listening. But you can engage them also. You can ask questions, anything, and you can use PowerPoint or any of the resources that I've shared. In next 5 minutes, you have to provide a cognitive break. You can use any strategy. It can be snowballing, think, pair, and share. It can be brainstorming also. And buzz groups are there. So several ways to engage the students. So what the students are doing, they're discussing and sharing. So you can use paper cases, you can use flashcards, etc. Next 20 minutes for content 2, you can explain the lab findings, management, and prognosis. And again, you can have passive flow of information, or you can engage the students. So what's the resource? PowerPoint, or it can be a visual. You can ask the students to interpret any clinical findings can be displayed on screen. So last 10 minutes are for summary and questions. So you should keep some time for the audience to ask you questions. So what students are doing? Listening and answering. So and the is your PowerPoint. Next slide, please. So this is the summary. So students are more likely to adopt a deeper approach to learning and quality learning outcomes when you, as a teacher, provide 3 things. Firstly is educational environment. It should be low threatening, supportive, and challenging. Some challenges should be thrown to the students. If it is so easy, it is boring. And if it is extremely challenging, then it is frustrating. So it should be little challenging. And an emphasis should be on higher level objective. As I said, it should be top level that should be attained, and active involvement in learning tasks. This is for cognitive presence and also for social presence. And also you need to make your presence also felt. So this is all about the students' engagement. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. These are my references, and thank you very much. So I'm open for the questions. If you have any questions, you may ask.
Any questions to anyone? Yes, ma'am. Madam, what is anagram?
Anagram is like, as I say, nurses run. Its front and back is just the same. So that can be created, or it's a jumbled word. Could you please mute yourself?
Madam,
So,
madam.
Yes. So jumbled words can be given and the students can make sense of it. So in the teaching tools, I have given the link. There you can find a free site and you can create crossword puzzles, anagrams also. And as I said, there are 20 tools that you can use in your teaching practices. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Madam, what is the difference between concept map and mind map?
I have explained. In mind map, you have to start from the center and emerge from the center. As I had written, iron deficiency anemia in the center, And on the sides, we had the causes, lab investigations, clinical manifestations, and then management. So iron deficiency anemia, I wrote in the center. And concept map is flow of information. It's a hierarchy. So you have to start from one end and go down, down, down. And it is the way the information flows. It doesn't start and then spreads out. So that is mind map. When you start from one end and end at the other end, it is concept map.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful presentation. And I just one query, with the levels that you have explained, it probably requires more of interpersonal communication from the teacher side towards the student. So when we are planning to remove lectures of 150 students at one go, so how are we planning to execute it?
So some of the strategies will not work for a large group, but you can always ask questions, or you can ask the students to ask you questions, and you can use some visuals and ask the students to interpret from the visual. So some of the mind games you can play with them, and it's just that you have to interact with them. Some of the techniques are not possible. It's always better to have small groups in a large group. That is team-based learning or flipped classroom, because it caters to the needs of all the learners. So in 150 students, you can have like 15 small groups, and let them discuss what you have as a clinical problem or any problem. So within a large group, you can create small group that can facilitate learning. Otherwise, if you are just one teacher and 150 students, it's very difficult to maintain discipline and cater to the needs of all the learners. It's difficult.
So what's the average number that ma'am would you recommend for the flipped classroom?
Flipped classroom, as I said, you can even handle 200 students, because you have to divide them into small groups. So you can have 15 small group, you can have 20 small groups, and then you can give the same task to the students and let them work collaboratively, create a body of knowledge, and you simply have to facilitate. You are not teaching them. Let them come prepared, and you give them some activity, let them discuss. So this is how you can engage them.
Thank you so much.
In a 1 hour lecture, ma'am, how many teaching tools can be used at the max?
It's not that you have to use all the teaching tools. It's not always. The one with which you are most comfortable, which is more effective, and which is feasible. So it's just that it's your choice. For 150 students, you have to think rationally. All tools will not work for you. Padlet is good. Padlet, you can just display the screen and see the responses. Everyone can see. And it all depends, like, what is your approach? Is it sequential approach or case-based approach, or what is the classical approach? So based on your approach of content delivery, you can choose. So try, I'll be sharing, my presentation will be with you. There are links, you can use all those links and see whichever is convenient and feasible with your large group. You can use them. So there is no one key that works for everything, no master key. It's just that you have to test and try and see with which tool you are most comfortable.
Actually, ma'am, for a 3 hour thing, when we have to conduct like a 3 hour thing with the students, then we have multiple tools to use, like Visualize or Kahoot also we can use. But for a 1 hour lecture, the time is very less. We have to teach them also. We have to like involve them also in the lecture, and we have to use tools also. So that's why during a 1 hour lecture, I also get stuck at times. And which tool should be used only in that 1 hour, when we have to take the attendance also, when we have to like teach them also, when we have to like involve them also in activity. So that time we get, I get stuck at times at which tool should be used and what is the most effective tool during those 40-45 minutes.
You can insert links for the poll questions, like 3-4 slides, and insert one question, and tell the students to use the link and let them answer the question. And you can check their responses later, or you can check the responses simultaneously, as Padlet is there. So you can use those questions. This is easier and it will not consume much of your time. Or you can randomly ask some student. We say three P's, like you have to pose the question, pause, and then pounce. So this strategy can be used, 3P's strategy. So you can ask question, which is a traditional way, but it's actually a way to engage the audience, and they are always under the impression that anyone can be targeted, so they are attentive. So simple thing is ask the question, or you can simply ask some student, okay, what is not clear to you? If he was listening, then he will say something that this was not clear to me. If the person was not there, was not listening, will be clueless.
Yeah. We also have an online question from Dr. Divakar. Dr. Divakar, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Dr. Divakar.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. I just want to raise a question. In your just now presentation, level 9, that is enhancing retention and transfer, you told us about that repeated practice and higher grade of learning. These two elements should be inculcated. Ma'am, may I ask that should there be a mix of two things, or usually we learn that only higher grade of learning should be asked while enhancing retention. So should it be a mix of both repeated practice and higher grade of learning?
Let me just explain you are just mixing up two things. Higher order of learning is on Bloom's taxonomy. As I said, the lower is understanding, means remembering, understanding, and then applying and analysis and evaluation. And the last one is create. So we should encourage at least application of knowledge, and then you can go up. And repetition is like, if I'm saying enlist 5 causes of like obesity. Okay, I have enlisted 5 causes, and after 5 minutes I say, okay, who is going to tell me 5 causes of obesity? My intent is that I'm reinforcing, I'm repeating, and it has a scientific basis. As per the neurobiology of learning, if you are repeating and reinforcing, that helps in strengthening the neuronal connections, and that it becomes easier to recall. So you can see a small child, you say, okay, learn this poem 2 times, 3 times, and the child learns. It is repetition and reinforcement that helps in learning. So you learn even without understanding. So this is rote learning, of course, but some rote learning is also required for application of knowledge. So reinforcement and repetition is something different. Higher order of learning is something different, but we want both. So we want reinforcements for retention of knowledge and higher order of learning, because ultimately we need not just be at the bottom. This retention of knowledge can be for just remembering, for understanding, but that is not going to be sufficient. We need to use this knowledge in solving the clinical problems. And as I said, creating a management plan, a diagnostic plan. So all that is also, those levels need to be attained. So you need to give a problem so that the students can solve it. That is intent to encourage higher order of learning on Bloom's taxonomy.
Great. Thank you very much, ma'am. We are happy to have our Dean sir here with us in a room. Previously, sir was online. Now, sir was attracted to become an offline participant. Sir, we are happy to have you.
Online platform is very erratic, so that is the reason. So, madam, excellent talk. It looks very clear now that if you have to use e-learning tools, it needs commitment and time of faculty members for making a plan, how this will be executed, how you engage. Now, tell me, we have a lot of clinical faculty members who are above the age of 50 years, non-millennials. How do you motivate them to embrace e-learning?
Sir, it's always very difficult to motivate the faculty members, but you can use a top to bottom approach. it is dictatorship sometimes works when you have to show the glorious picture that the change will be glorious if you will change, and if you'll not change, what will be the mess? So you can use that approach, a dictatorship
Sir,
approach.
may I
And
try
the
to
other,
reply?
and
Yeah,
the
just to
other
like,
is,
please,
yeah,
ma'am,
and
continue.
yes, the other is you have to motivate them, explaining the need of the hour, that it is just not possible to continue with the traditional ways of teaching. You have to sell the product in the international market. Your product is your student who has to compete with international students who are taught in the modern ways. And if you will teach in the ways you were taught, then ultimately your product will not be sellable. And then this will have the implications, this will affect the academic standards of the institute. So you need to devise the ways to motivate the faculty. If this doesn't work, then it is dictatorship. Then you have to hold the stick and then teach them.
Leadership are all converted people. They want to get it implemented. But the greatest problem is the time for the clinician. Clinicians are too busy with their clinical work. And then for them to get, see, preclinical, paraclinical, ample time people can devote and they can plan things very well. But clinical faculty, they think their bread and butter is doing the surgery or managing patient clinically.
Sir, I will little bit differ in that sense. So first of all, if the leader is like you, sir, so first techniques is a role modeling. So once you as a dean, when using technology, others are indirectly attracted that, okay, sir, at this age, if can use a technology, we can definitely use the technology. Secondly, as in initial part, I said that when students like the things and if we want to do that thing, then they will be happy. So similarly, if we make use of technology in a way that clinicians become free. For example, most of the things they have to do repeatedly. Most of the data for simple thing they have to reach to the laboratory or they have to go to particular place. If we use a technology for their use and then means वो ऐसे पहले बच्चों को ऐसे बोलते हैं कि तेरे को आइसक्रीम खिलाएंगे और बाद में उसको गोली देते हैं, तो ऐसे ही अगर उनको पहले टेक्नोलॉजी से उनका फायदा क्या होता है वो दिखाएंगे, तो बाद में once they are in, then they will follow us. And sir, you are the best role model, and I think that second strategy will work also more effectively.
That part is true. We have to make sure that e-learning or whatever we do on digital platform, these are add-on value to whatever they learn, sometimes face-to-face or on clinical website. We cannot give a message to people that e-learning can be the way you can educate future generation of healthcare professionals.
Yes.
I think that is a very wrong message. And whatever we do, whatever we try to create, like we are going to very soon start using now Moodle platform here also in this institution with younger faculty members who are going to take the lead. Fifth class teaching, as you rightly said, but it needs time, commitment, creation of e-contents, which is another thing. For that, the university again has to support, which is already there from the top management. So I'm not saying it is not doable, because if a person like me who is like a senior citizen can do it, why can't younger generation who are 50, 55 years of age? And
Yes,
there is no
incentives. Yeah, incentives can be given. Something, Rosie, you have to show them. And as I said, relevance, understand.
मैं वो कहेंगे सबसे ज्यादा इंसेंटिव परफॉर्मेंस सर्जरी में ज्यादा करता हूँ, मैं वो टाइम ज्यादा कर रहा हूँ, उसमें हमें इंसेंटिव मिल जाए. See, education and teaching is in many of the institutions as a third thing. Clinical work, then research comes in many of the institutions, like HIMS New Delhi, research comes number 2. Your education part is not measured in your annual appraisal and the ACR reports. That is another problem. So unless we bring it, that it is a part and parcel of your promotions and you are scored for it, I think even the faculty members won't take it very seriously. So I think that has been my fight with all the senior leadership at different places, even with NMC and other places, that we must give weightage to the education in which the teachers are getting involved. And problem is, there is no way you can quantify that, okay, how much is your contribution in education. So
Yes.
that is the flip side of that.
Yes, sir.
It's everywhere, sir. You are not the only person. It's everywhere. All around the world, people are struggling. Leadership is struggling to motivate the senior faculty members because they don't want to change. They don't want to come out of their comfort zones, but they have to. So by hook or crook, or by motivating them, or by dictatorship, you need to motivate them.
Okay.
I think.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation and nice
Thank you.
interaction. Thank you, ma'am. May I take the privilege now to welcome our Honorable Dean, Sir, Professor Dr. Ashok Dehradun, Sir. He is Principal Dean, Himalayan Institute of Medical Sciences, Swami Rama Himalayan University, Dehradun. He is former head and professor, Department of Pediatrics, HIMS, Delhi. He is head WHO Group for Training and Research in Newborn Care. He has so many achievements in his tag. I welcome you to this workshop, and it's a privilege for us for you to be here. Please give him a welcome applause. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. Ma'am, shall we now break up for a small tea session? Okay, so just 10 minutes, a quick tea, and we are back to the work. Thank you, everyone.
आप अपने लैपटॉप को कहीं और लगाना चाहते हैं बाहर निकल के देखिए
एक मिनट सुनो उनको बोलना है
सिस्टम होस्ट पे नहीं है
एक मिनट सुनो बताओ
मैं इसमें डाल देती हूँ
am I audible to all the online participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
it's a small tea break of 10 minutes. Please, you can just freshen up, and we are back to the work in by 11:50. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर
Some हो जाएगा. By that date, 31st December 2028, you will get the best medical education system in the world. I can't enhance that date.
Sir, you are muted, sir.
Hello, everybody. So we'll be starting on the third part. I request Dr. Sanjay Bedi sir to start the session. Sir, आप बोलिए एक बार.
हेलो उसको म्यूट करना पड़ेगा नहीं उसका स्पीकर भी म्यूट करना हेलो अब ठीक है हेलो Okay. So, well, friends, welcome to the third session of the workshop. And we had shared tests with you before the class. So a class test was shared with all of you on WhatsApp, and you were expected to fill these on Google Forms, and you were expected to answer these questions which were created on Google Forms. And if you see, there are questions of all kinds. There are image-based questions, and there are multiple choice questions. There are essay type, there are video type. All types of questions are there in this. And if we see the responses, so we have got some responses, and if we see we can see that automatically within 1 second we get how many students answered what. We have got the graphics, we have got the item analysis, and we also have the answers that what is the score of every student, and we have the which portion of which MCQ was answered most, and what is the which distractor was answered most. So distractor quotient is also there, and we have also have the entire item analysis. We can copy it on a PowerPoint also, and we can also get various kinds of different possibilities. This is a very simple tool available in every Gmail account, free of cost, and it takes care. And if you see that I want that, okay, I don't want in a graphics form, I want the entire result as an Excel sheet, instantly it's available. So the options, how can this be used? The teacher comes to the class, he wants to take attendance, so he can just put 5 questions to the students because everybody has a mobile phone, and he asked 5 questions which were there in the previous class, and the class enters. All the students enter the answers immediately. Immediately the teacher will know what was the effect of the previous class, the formative assessment, and the summative assessment. Or if the principal wants to assess this chapter is over, let me see do some quality control exercise with this batch. He just has to send a link on their WhatsApp and give them, say, 30 minutes or whatever. The entire class does the test. Instantly you have done a quality control exercise, whether the students know it or don't know it. Or the vice chancellor, he wants to check 10 medical colleges together, and he wants to know whether this, because now what is happening, MCI has made the same curriculum to be taught in all the colleges after CBME. So it's basically more or less the same chapter which is going on in every college. So if the vice chancellor wants that the quality check in different colleges, whether it is working or not, he just has to send a questionnaire to the class or WhatsApp groups or to the administration, and that this test should be released at this particular minute. And he can send it at just 2 minutes before the start. No leakage possibility, no leakage of test. So you can do a quality check of 10 medical colleges, 30 medical colleges, or the entire country in one go. No problem. And technologically, everything is possible. And most people have a problem how to make auto checking possible. If you see what you all did, you saw that this is the MCQ questions were there, and when you press submit, automatically the result came in front of your screen. So you just go to settings and make this a quiz. Just do this, and it is ready in just this much. And you can decide whether this will be immediately after each submission or later on, etc. Or you can even get the students get the the possibility. You can even make these questions that question number 1 for one student will be question number 10 for other students. You can shuffle the questions. You can even yes. For shuffle, if you go to responses, there is a button. Yes, there is a change settings. Huh? Achha.
Questions.
Okay, shuffle questions. So yeah. Yes. And थोड़ा सा ये चेक भी करना पड़ता है क्योंकि ये buttons Google keeps on changing them, but it is there. कभी ये बटन उसके लिए हो जाता है, कभी वो हो जाता है, but it is there. And so this way, even if 150 students are sitting together, the question paper which is given to one student and the student sitting next to him, they are different. All the same questions have been given, but the cheating is not possible. So everything has been taken care of. And this single tool can transform the assessment scenario in almost every class. But yes, there are certain enhancements available in other. The gamification is not there, but this single tool can take care of 90% of our issues.
Time out of the question paper is not like this में question disappear करता है वो नहीं.
वो आप हाथ से कर सकते हो.
नहीं वो इतना पड़ता है. सॉफ्टवेयर है this में आपका पेपर दिखेगा नहीं आपको. टाइम आउट
नहीं वो भी है ये देखें ये ऊपर एक एक्सेप्टिंग रिस्पॉन्सेज बटन है ना, आपने इसको ऐसे कर दिया, इट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग रिस्पॉन्सेज. हाँ यस, आपने मतलब जस्ट एक somebody is asking.
हाँ सर वो तो क्वेश्चन किसी ने पूछा था कि क्वेश्चन को कैसे शफल कर सकते हैं. देयर आंसरिंग देयर कि आपका सेटिंग्स में प्रेजेंटेशन का जो है वो है बार है, उसमें आप शफल क्वेश्चन ऑर्डर को एंटर करेंगे तो क्वेश्चन शफल.
एंड ये देखिए आपके जो स्टूडेंट्स के रिस्पॉन्सेज है उनके पाई डायग्राम्स बन के आ गए हैं कि किसने क्या क्या जवाब दिया और कितने परसेंटेज आपकी सारा आइटम एनालिसिस जैसे एक ही सॉफ्टवेयर ने इंस्टेंटली कर दिया विदाउट बहुत कुछ जो पहले हम एंट्री करो और ये करो और एक्सेल में डालो, सब कुछ हो गया. और ये काम आपकी क्लासरूम में हो गया। आपने क्लास स्टार्ट की, पहले 5 मिनट में ये 5 क्वेश्चन पूछे, हो भी गया। You can do it 2 times, 3 times after every topic you to teach. You can do it, or you can do it in a summative. So okay. So next is
स्टूडेंट को भी मैसेज चला जाएगा कि नकल करने से फायदा नहीं, क्वेश्चन भी शफल होते हैं, आंसर भी शफल।
हाँ
सर, this one this is that is very important for everybody. So I want that everybody should be decided. Again, you have presented it very well. Just divide it so that
okay.
So that it becomes and this is
देखिए वेरी सिंपल। आपने देखिए हम ना एक्चुअली एक पूरे दिन की वर्कशॉप लेते हैं ऑन दिस, और सो एनीवे सो देन आई विल हैव टू एक्सटेंड टाइम एनीवे। सो बेसिकली आपने क्या करना है कि आपने ये अपने जीमेल में जाना है, जीमेल में जाके ये 9 डॉट्स है, इसको क्लिक करना है, ये गूगल ड्राइव का बटन आ गया, एंड देन यू गो click on new Google Forms and create the questions. And then once you are ready with the questions, so these questions are आपने इसमें डाल दिए हर तरह के क्वेश्चन। you just think कि मेरे को ऐसा क्वेश्चन बनाना है तो वैसा क्वेश्चन बनाना है, इमेज वाला बनाना है, बिना इमेज वाला बनाना है, सारी पॉसिबिलिटीज इसमें है।
Ma'am, same
So
problem
you
I
can
am
have
facing.
multiple choice, paragraph,
You can do the
checkbox,
same. Everyone
drop
can send
down,
on the
file
personal
upload,
WhatsApp.
linear scale, multiple choice grid, checkbox grid. Yeah, it is limited by your own imagination. आपने feedback लेनी है वो भी इसमें ले सकते हो, आपने attendance लेनी है वो भी इसमें ले सकते हो। आप कहते हैं यार हमें तो 15 मिनट लग जाते हैं अटेंडेंस लेने में, 1 मिनट में अटेंडेंस दी जाती है इससे, ठीक है ना। So and it is not rocket science at all. I have used this for taking attendance innumerable times. So
बच्चों को फिर मोबाइल फोन आईपैड अलाउ करना पड़ेगा
तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है, वैसे भी लेके आते हैं।
हमारे यहाँ पे कई फैकल्टी मेंबर कहते हैं कि अलाउड नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं ये भी बता दूं आपको
सर,
वो कहते हैं कि उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग कर देते हैं और उसके बाद वो इधर उधर मेरे पास कंप्लेंट आती है ना, मैं तो करता हूँ ना।
सर अगर लेक्चर की रिकॉर्डिंग उनको वैसे ही दे दो तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
वो दूसरे फैकल्टी मेंबर कई बार तो स्टूडेंट की चेकिंग करने लगते हैं।
नहीं, that is insecurity.
हाँ, ये अपनी इनसिक्योरिटी को कवर करने के लिए they don't want the technology to get in the hands of the other people.
Yes, that is all. I mean basically there are some universities जो के स्टूडेंट्स को पूरा लैपटॉप टैब देती है, उसके अंदर सारी किताबें सब कुछ डाल के पकड़ा देती हैं the moment they join. I mean not only in India, abroad also. So
मैंने साउथ इंडिया में तो यही देखा है यूपी स्टूडेंट के लिए, जब वो यूनिवर्सिटी में एंटर करते हैं तो वहाँ पे एक जगह होती है, वहाँ उसके मोबाइल फोन रखवा दिए जाते हैं। जब वो घर जा रहा होता है शाम को तब उसको इशू होते हैं। आप समझते हो, ये भी है।
यस सर, एग्जैक्टली ये भी है। अभी वी आर इन द ट्रांजिशनल फेज। सो
मूव टू द नेक्स्ट।
यस,
there is one more thing that faculty may be conscious about the copyright or the content which he or she has prepared for the lecture.
I personally feel that sense of ownership that sometimes faculty get too possessive of their PowerPoint. It's very easy that they are too there. So I think it is actually
ऐसे है कि sooner or later ना
they are not listening to us. We have already have a PDF for it. We already have the so much material from teachers की बात भी सुना है।
तो वो आई एग्री। तो आपको अपनी टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी बदलनी पड़ेगी। यू शुड हैव टू एग्री कि स्टूडेंट को ये सब पता है। अब मेरे को उसी के बारे में कोई एक केस स्टडी या कोई उसके बारे में कोई डिस्कशन डालना पड़ेगा, तब वो आपके तब ह्यूमन टच तो तब आएगा जब जो चीज आप देख लो आपको कोई चीज पता है तो आप क्यों आप भी क्यों सुनोगे।
टीचर हैज टू बी मोर स्मार्टर देन द स्टूडेंट। पहली बात, अगर आप स्मार्ट नहीं हो स्टूडेंट से तो बस खत्म हो गया। You have to be smart.
Just verify, it's not a question of copyright. Copyright में तो पहले आपका register होगा, then it becomes your own game. You have to register it anywhere. How can that be your copyright? You should allow
वैसे भी
Kindle or something.
ये क्या PPT बना था पुस्तक बड़ा बना सबसे बड़ी मिसकंसेप्शन ये है सबको फैकल्टी को अगर मैं नहीं दूंगा तो उसको नहीं मिलेगा पूरा गूगल पढ़ा है पूरा यूट्यूब पढ़ा है टेलीग्राम पढ़ा है पूरा मूवी लोग डाउनलोड कर लेंगे अपने बोला हम उनसे आगे नहीं जाएंगे या उनके साथ नहीं मिलाएंगे और साइलों में बैठे रहेंगे तो वो आगे निकल जाएंगे हम मार देंगे एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी नीड टू बी टेक्नोलॉजी आप आपके स्टूडेंट्स की तरफ मत देखो आपके बच्चों की तरफ देखो घर में जो बच्चे हैं वो अपने टीचर के साथ क्या करते हैं आप सोचोगे अपने छोटे छोटे बच्चे अपने टीचर के साथ ये सब कर सकते हैं तो आपके तो बड़े बच्चे तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं तो वी हैव टू बी मोर स्मार्टर डोंट वरी रिगार्डिंग एनीथिंग एंड अलाउ एवरीथिंग
एटलीस्ट डोंट गिव देम ए फ्यूचर शॉक क्योंकि जो कुछ वो स्कूल में सीख के आए हैं मेडिकल कॉलेज में उनको अनलर्न क्यों करना पड़ता है व्हाई डोंट वी यूज देयर लर्निंग जो कि स्कूल में है उसके आगे बिल्डअप करो तो हम बहुत सारे मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में ये रिवर्स फ्यूचर शॉक हो जाता है
और हम तो चाहते हैं सर कि वो आगे बढ़े
हाँ आई मीन so I had shared with you this website Center for Learning and Performance Technologies और इस पे 2500 tools अवेलेबल हैं जो कि आप खुद सेल्फ लर्निंग से आप खुद ही चूज कर सकते हैं और मैंने असाइनमेंट दी थी कि जस्ट गो थ्रू देम एंड शायद कोई कर नहीं पाया लेकिन यू कैन जस्ट थिंक ऑफ द activity you want to do and you have an e-learning authoring tool, quizzing tool, learning management platforms, documentation tools, PDF, flipbooks, presentation tools. I mean, हर बात के लिए बहुत सारे tools हैं और दुनिया का कोई सॉफ्टवेयर चाहे जितना महंगा हो अगर आपको उसको यूज करना नहीं आता तो वो यूजलेस है और एक सिंपल सा सॉफ्टवेयर जो सस्ता या फ्री हो और आपको यूज करना आता है तो उससे बेटर चीज कोई नहीं है तो these are the tools. See which one, what you want to do, and out of these, which tool you would like to use. 15 मिनट में हर एक टूल समझ जाते हो तो just go through them, download them, and start using them. इसके इन्हीं के साथ ही एक बड़े अच्छे इनके वो जो है लर्निंग वीडियोस भी अवेलेबल है सो वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है सो कंटेंट जनरेशन वगैरह सब कुछ अवेलेबल है नो प्रॉब्लम then we come back here so ये I think सबके पास इस साइट का लिंक है ऑलरेडी next we come to a tool called Answer Garden and this is a website called Answer Garden. So this is the website, and how do you create the link? You just go to this. This is a free site, and you go there. You say, I want to. I ask you, how are you liking this course? And then I go there. I can decide कि ये classroom mode है या moderator mode है. I mean, there are multiple options. Do I need a password, etc. And then I press on. I mean, इसकी कितनी देर ये चलेगा? I say create, and it is created. And then I share this link on the chat or WhatsApp. And so in the chat, I go and then you can use it in the chat or you can use it as a, yes. This is the. You can also click on this QR code and you can just answer it. It is. मैंने डाउनलोड तो किया था. I mean it's there in the downloads. All of you, please answer on the link which I have sent. ये कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा. नहीं नहीं एक मिनट इसको जो फ्लोटिंग मीटिंग कंट्रोल. हाँ
I'll add it in the WhatsApp also.
Okay. आपने डाल दिया ना WhatsApp में.
It's on WhatsApp also.
मैंने डाउनलोड किया है. In the download files.
I've added a link in the participant. You can click open the answer garden link is there. You can click it open.
Yes. नहीं इसको share screen again करनी पड़ेगा. New share. Yes, this is the code.
इसको भी QR कोड से भी आप कर सकते हैं. Multiple way you can do.
I'll try QR code also.
Yes.
Allowing only 20 characters answer.
So हाँ मैं दिखा देता हूँ. Just a
The
moment.
answer garden link is already posted in the participant group.
अपना participant group में भी.
It's already posted.
आंसर गार्डन दिखा दीजिए. सबको देख रहे हैं. रिफ्रेश कीजिए.
Answer click करके हमारे पास ये option open.
Yes.
We're also getting responses here. Great, very nice. This workshop is simply amazing. Very happy. It's interesting. Excellent. So we're also getting responses in the answer card. Let me also.
So look, these are the answers. So जो word आपने ज़्यादा बार स्टूडेंट ने आंसर किया वो बड़ा हो जाएगा अपने आप.
फॉर एग्जांपल ये ग्रेट लिखा है, 3 लोगों ने दिखा है, गुड 2 लिखा ने है, तो ये भी है एक तरह से कैलकुलेशन भी हो जाएगा. अगर आप ये बोलेंगे 5 में से क्या कुछ,
I mean, instead of this question, you can even have an academic question here, or maybe no limit. I mean, आपकी इच्छा है. Answer garden. Answer garden. It's free. There are a lot of possibilities. I mean, हमको fast forward में समझा रहे हैं, लेकिन ये answer garden it's free and it can. I mean, there is a whole field which is called gamification of assessment. So these are games. आप games के through बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हो, and they are happy. I mean, the way they have been doing it. I mean, in school they are using it very frequently. Even the CBSE board ने भी ये अब इसकी workshops करानी शुरू कर दी हैं. Medical colleges ने नहीं कराई हैं. So it's no big deal, and 5 मिनट में आप सीख जाते हो. So you can. I mean, this is a very good tool. Then comes slideshow. मैंने यहाँ पे रखा हुआ था कोड. Anyway, so next is.
मेरे को याद आ रहा है, मैं हम जब WHO की मीटिंग अटेंड करते हैं, जब वहाँ पे 60 एक्सपर्ट बैठे होते हैं,
हाँ जी,
तो कई बार उनको कुछ वर्ड आते हैं यार कि यार इसका साइनोनिम क्या होगा. सारे लोग अपना लिख के भेजते हैं.
ओके
वो वैसे ड्रॉ कर देता था मैक्सिमम की ये वाला आंसर जो है मैक्सिमम लोग कर रहे हैं बाकी इतने लोग इतना कर रहे हैं वो थोड़ा हाँ तो वो उसी को दिखाने के लिए and then keeping people engaged they are in the workshop and they are applying their mind also because there is some question you ask them you can be answer straight there but then they are smart people they are using the brain of 60
यस
50 लोग एक ही कि ये वर्ड जो है बेस्ट होगा इसके लिए
सो नेक्स्ट इज वी आर with
मैं जब शुरू में देखता था ये करते हैं
सर कुछ भी नहीं है ये किसी इंडियन ने किया होगा उनको बताया होगा कैसे करते हैं
वहाँ टेक्नोलॉजी जो है पहले आ जाती है इंडिया में आते आते समझ
और बनाई इंडियन नहीं होती है anyway, so if you go to in Google Slides there is a some extension called peer deck तो ये peer deck जो है ये इसमें there are possibilities कि आप पढ़ाते पढ़ाते ही ना आप बीच में आपका पावर पॉइंट इंटरेक्टिव हो जाता है एंड सपोजिंग मैं इसमें एक मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन बनाता हूं एंड देन आई से ऑप्शन 1
The question is which PCW are we attending? One, two.
Okay.
पूछ लीजिए which PCW are we attending?
ठीक है. So PCW 12, PCW 14, PCW 16, and add another PCW 18. Okay, so update and
The options have appeared in the bottom.
yes. So इसमें ये पूछता है कि भी आपने स्टूडेंट बेस्ड एक्टिविटी के हिसाब से करना कि इंस्ट्रक्टर लेड. तो जैसे हम अब इस वक्त हम इंस्ट्रक्टर लेड हैं तो ये
Sanjay sir, good afternoon. Dr. Sandeep here.
So what you do, you can go to joinpd.com and put in this code. और हम आपको एक लिंक भी दे सकते हैं. हाँ.
Yes, sir. So ऐसे ऑप्शन नहीं blank screen आ जाएगा peer deck ऑप्शन आएगा just put in your code.
I hope all these websites where we are being taken to our mobile are very safe.
Yes.
Oh, very safe, sir. They are pretty safe, sir. I mean, more safe than 99% of websites. They have been created by very committed people, and sometimes हाँ जी हाँ जी.
यहाँ पे जो आ रहा है वो
नहीं
ये स्क्रीन पर आ गया. Who am I?
I have opened. Sir, I have opened. I am seeing this slide, sir.
तो बाद में ये कोड डालो, ये वाला कोड UGY ऊपर है वो कोड डालो.
It will ask for a sign in from a Google account. Yes. After a sign. क्योंकि सर ने वो स्लाइड को रखी ना, तो दिस इज इंस्ट्रक्टर नेट, तो विल बी चेंजिंग द स्लाइड और सेम आपको. यस सर.
ये लीजिए, आपके रिस्पॉन्स शीट आ गई, क्योंकि ये मैंने एमसीक्यू किया था.
ज्वाइन पीरियड को आप करोगे, ये वाला ज्वाइन आएगा, इधर में कोड डालना. हाँ, जो कोड अब जो वहाँ पे वो कोड है.
हाँ, इसमें बहुत सारे टाइप्स के क्वेश्चंस पॉसिबल हैं. मैंने अभी सिर्फ एमसीक्यू.
गलत भी आंसर करो ना कोई सारे.
हाँ, ये गलत आंसर भी आने शुरू हो गए.
कोड डालो, आपको कोड डालो, ये नहीं लिखना है. ये वाला कॉपी करिए ना पहले. वो है UGY
रिस्पांस सर
ये यहाँ UGY.
It is accepting multiple responses from one person.
Yes, yes, yes.
It cannot give us the
नहीं, वो हम ऑप्शन यूज कर सकते हैं कि हम अलाउ वन पर्सन ओनली वन रिस्पॉन्स और अलाउ वन पर्सन मल्टीपल रिस्पॉन्स. वो डिपेंड्स अपॉन द टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस वी क्रिएट.
आप लोग को ऐसा कर देते.
हाँ,
हाँ, तो दैट इज व्हाई सर जब स्क्रीन चेंज करेंगे हमारी तब स्क्रीन चेंज होगी.
एंड इट इज कितनी देर लगी मेरे को. आप क्लास में बैठे बैठे सोचते हो कि यार मेरे को ये क्वेश्चन पूछना है क्लास से, एंड आप मेरे को प्रॉब्लम है कि वो 10-12 स्टूडेंट जो आगे बैठे हैं वो सारे सवाल का जवाब वही देते हैं. आई वांट ऑल द 150 स्टूडेंट्स टू आंसर. और इनका क्या रिस्पॉन्स है, जो पीछे बैठे हैं ना उनका क्या रिस्पॉन्स है, दे आर मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. तो मैं ये इनको देता हूँ और कहता हूँ सबने जवाब देना है, और जिसने नहीं जवाब दिया उसका वो अटेंडेंस भी इसके थ्रू ही मिलेगी. जो जवाब देगा उसका रिकॉर्ड मेरे पास है, जिसने नहीं जवाब दिया उसको अटेंडेंस नहीं मिलेगी. सिंपल. आपका ये वो अटेंडेंस वाले जो 15 मिनट अटेंडेंस में लगते हैं वो प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व. ऑफलाइन में भी कर सकते हैं. आप ये भी कर सकते हो स्टूडेंट लेड, आप क्वेश्चन बना दो और जब आप क्लास खत्म हो गई स्टूडेंट गए हॉस्टल और वो वहां पे अपना खोल के लगे हुए हैं आंसर देने. दैट इज देयर रिवीजन.
There are two questions which are online.
हाँ.
One will not automatically see periodic one on Google side. One is to logic, the other thing you have to install as an add-on. Actually, as I said, the first instance, that ये एक चीज है वो पूरा एक वर्कशॉप है.
हाँ,
ठीक है. तो we are just dressing up क्योंकि ऐसा कुछ है. You can. Then Dr. Anup is asking, I person like if the response is in front of you, how but how to pay? Then what is your?
ऐसे है कि हाँ ठीक है, कई बार थोड़े से पैसे भी देने पड़ते हैं. वो इतने ज्यादा इट्स नॉट रॉकेट. आई मीन थोड़े से पैसे आपने साल के दिए. इट्स अबाउट आई थिंक 7,000 रुपीज ए ईयर. तो ये इंस्टीट्यूशन ले ले
इस चीज के लिए.
वो अभी आगे आना है वो.
तो आएगा.
हाँ नहीं, पर उसका फ्री वर्जन भी अवेलेबल है. तो आपका आप फ्री वर्जन यूज कर लो. और जिन था कोविड के टाइम पे इन्होंने बिल्कुल फ्री कर दिया था प्रीमियम वाला. और मैंने तब लिया था तो मेरे को 2-3 साल हो गए और मैं फ्री चली आ रहा है. तो ठीक है. आई मीन आफ्टर दैट आई पेड फॉर इट आल्सो, क्योंकि मैंने एक व्हाट आई हैव डन. जस्ट अ मोमेंट. कोविड काहूट ये रहा. सो दिस इज माय काहूट. एंड इसमें अगर आप जाओ देयर इज अ लाइब्रेरी. एंड इसमें मैंने क्या किया है कि मैंने पैथोलॉजी के सारे चैप्टर्स का ना मैंने क्वेश्चन बैंक बना दिया. और मेरे को जिसको मैं एज ए I can give it as a single, I can give it and ask it in the class, or I can give it to them कि वो घर पे जाके practice कर लें. I mean the code the way I want them to do it. So I just supposing I want.
Share one thing which we are following at our institute. Every day in the evening, the student is allowed to attempt MCQ or a picture-based question on our own developed software that we call it as CARE.
मतलब आपका लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम होगा,
Yeah.
तो वो ठीक है, मतलब दैट इज ओके. आई मीन बहुत सारे कॉलेजेस ने ये किया. आई मीन इनफैक्ट if you go to the west, almost every university has got their own learning management system, और उसमें उन्होंने 20-20 हजार क्वेश्चंस का क्वेश्चन बैंक दिया हुआ है, और स्टूडेंट्स को कहते हैं कि भाई जितने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर सकते हो करो, कोई अंत ही नहीं है, और कई तो उसमें ऐड भी करते जाते हैं, तो ठीक है.
Our approach is bit different because what the I'm from a pre-clinical math. So what the student is learning in a theory or a practical today, only that topic will be asked in the evening. And particular and that assessment is counted towards their continuous.
Okay, ठीक है. हाँ, ठीक है,
So-
वो भी ठीक है.
So the in what manner we can enhance that our own system?
नहीं तो उसको तो मतलब आप उसको नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन बढ़ा सकते हो, उसका आई मीन यू कैन सी कि जो सबसे खराब स्टूडेंट है उससे शुरू करो. वो स्टूडेंट को देखो कि उसको क्या आता है और क्या नहीं आता है. जैसे उन्होंने करिकुलम मैपिंग, तो जो लास्ट के 10 स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको देखो, उनको कौन सा टॉपिक आता है, कौन सा टॉपिक नहीं आता. हाँ, लो अचीवर्स को या स्लो लर्नर्स को, तो जो टॉपिक उनको आता है वो टच ही ना करो, जो नहीं आता उस पर थोड़ा सा एम्फेसिस उनके लिए अलग से कर दो. यू विल सी कि आपका काम, क्योंकि उनको बहुत कुछ आता भी है, जो थोड़े सा टॉपिक उनको नहीं आते उनको सिर्फ उसी के लिए थोड़ी सी टेंशन की जरूरत है. तो वो जो जब आप सॉफ्टवेयर या आजकल करिकुलम मैपिंग सॉफ्टवेयर भी आ गए हैं, तो वो इम्तिहान लिया, देखा गया तुमको ये आता है, ये नहीं आता, जिस ग्रुप को ये नहीं आता उसका अलग ग्रुप बना दो, जिसको वो टॉपिक नहीं आता उसका अलग ग्रुप करा दो, उनको एक रेमेडियल क्लास ऑफ ओनली दोज टॉपिक्स जो कि नहीं आते उनको.
That can help better. Sir, please help me by telling
हाँ.
का थोड़ा कंस्ट्रेंट है. सॉरी, हम ना आगे कंटिन्यू करेंगे सर, टाइम का थोड़ा सा कंस्ट्रेंट है. सर मैं तो थोड़ा सा
So, I mean, question answers are good. So then there is e-learning का ये मतलब नहीं कि हमने कंप्यूटर जरूर यूज करना है. हमारा एक ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि इस क्लास में हमने क्या कराना है. हम तो देयर इज फेस टू फेस प्लस टेक्नोलॉजी. बहुत सारी ऐसी बातें हैं जो फेस टू फेस में नहीं हो सकती, उसके लिए टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करो. नॉट फॉर कि भाई ये है तो हम वी आर वेरी आईटी savvy, हमने तो यूज ही कंप्यूटर करना, वहां गड़बड़ आती है. आपका एक ऑब्जेक्टिव है एट द एंड ऑफ दिस लेक्चर और दिस क्लास और दिस स्टूडेंट्स को ये आना चाहिए. उसके लिए हाउ कैन आई यूज टेक्नोलॉजी विद माय फेस टू फेस, वहां पे आई मीन ह्यूमन फेस. देन देयर इज ब्लेंडेड एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एनहांस्ड. Blended, does anybody know the difference between blended and technology enhanced? हाँ, we are face to face and then we use technology to work. I mean हमारे context में technology enhancement is more, that is more relevant. Blended है कि भाई आप कहीं और से पढ़ा रहे हैं और वहां से वीडियोस वगैरह आ रहे हैं और एक कॉन्टेक्ट सेशन हो गया, उसमें ब्लेंडेड हो गया.
तो हमने एम्स न्यू दिल्ली में ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग यूज करते थे, स्पेशली फॉर स्किल लैब. स्टूडेंट मस्ट लॉग इन थ्रू हिज पासवर्ड एंड take that blended learning course, which is online course for that skill which he or she has to learn in the lab. And for each skill, it may be just urinary catheterization. He will see the SOP, he will see the video, he will see the webinar, he will take the MCQ 10 number, generate a certificate, तभी वो आता था for demonstration and skill learning. Otherwise क्या होता है skill lab के चक्कर में लोग फटाफट भाग के आते हैं without having any cognitive knowledge about that particular topic. तो वो blended बना देता है.
So
blended हो गया ना online हो गया hybrid भी ना हो.
So anyway, so we have to increase student achievement by this way, promote their engagement, extend access and flexibility, and facilitate student discussions during group works. So I think I'll move faster. So for this, and we must have a goal to learn कि भी इसके end पे हमने क्या करना है to improve the learning objectives and access to materials. And interactions may not be possible in the classroom, but they are possible through the online activities. So we can use web counseling, conferencing, lecture capture systems, or interaction tools, learning management tools. बहुत सारे मैंने आपको बता दिए हैं. Kahoot भी आपको एक just दिखा दिया है, and then Google Forms भी दिखा दिए हैं. So this way we have got many other tools. We can use Facebook, social networks, blogs, software, videos, websites, whatever. I mean, the list is endless. It's what we decide. We are the boss, not the software. That's what we want to do. So, and thus provide, we use technology to provide or extend access, improve. So ultimately there is depth of distance. The concept of distance is going to die by and by. The student may be sitting anywhere, teacher may be sitting anywhere, and still they will be interacting. And also they may be within the college, they may be at hostel or the class, and they will be interacting. And so more and more through these interactions, we are going to move. The second concept is depth of time. The teacher may have created a YouTube video 45 years ago and he is now dead. उनकी आत्मा जो है ना वो आपको YouTube पे पढ़ा रही है. So, and you will be creating the knowledge. I mean, जैसे आप Spotify में कहो कि भी Spotify में the music is copyrighted, the playlist is not.
Yes.
So यहाँ पर आपको information lectures की playlist बनानी पड़ेगी. Playlist student अपने हिसाब से बनाएगा. And there is a, I mean, आप करोगे कि भी चलो मैं कोई orthopedics का lecture करता हूँ और कोई मैं उसके मेटलर्जी का लेक्चर फ्रॉम आईआईटी लेना चाहता हूँ, वो भी आ जाएगा. क्लिनिकल की आपने देखी है एल्सेवियर की. एल्सेवियर हैज क्रिएटेड ए सॉफ्टवेयर, आई मीन दे आर प्रोवाइडिंग इट, जिसमें कि आप बस टॉपिक डालते हो और एल्सेवियर की जितनी बुक्स हैं उनमें से रेलेवेंट मटेरियल आ जाता है और आप कस्टमाइज्ड बुक बना लेते हो. सो दिस इज द फ्यूचर. द स्टूडेंट एंड टीचर इज द बॉस. दिस इज द सर्वेंट. Don't let it be the boss. So next is Anu.
A wonderful
Mind-opening talk.
So thank you very much, sir. So we have seen from morning to this time. क्या दिखा?
We have seen a transition from the previous century to the new century.
Okay, great.
digitalization is complement to what is already existing.
Okay.
It's not that to replace it. Some will be touched, but हाँ इसको add on करेगा, make it better.
Better.
जो भी limitations है हमारे physical teaching के उसको meet out करता है. Value add करेगा. Add.
Yes.
Very learning के लिए it is going to
And it would be very interesting if we add such apps or tools to our teaching methodology. It would be more interesting.
faculty skills भी enhance.
Faculty की?
teacher training was so I think the main thing is that teacher and preparation lines, preparation time, but if you one job का सर तभी तो बोल रही हूँ आप उसकी high time so इसको क्या preparation time शुरू में लगता है ज़्यादा, but एक बार बन जाता है तो बहुत very easy ना, every year you can use it, every batch में you can use it.
10-12 chapter का बनाओ, chapter का बनाओ, कब हो जाता है? I find it can save a lot of time for faculty, and particularly for the assessment and analysis.
I think सर ये आने वाले टाइम में critical postings और ये tutorials वगैरह को जो blog postings करते हैं कि replace everyone को.
Replace कुछ नहीं करेगा, उसको enhance करता है.
एक क्वेश्चन था ये peer tech Google Classroom से इसका क्वेश्चन है चैट में है कि peer tech जो है Google Classroom से कैसे अलग है and what are the advantages of peer tech दोनों बहुत अलग चीजें हैं.
Peer tech boss.
peer tech में एक्चुअली हमने सिर्फ एक ही पार्ट देखा है, उसके 25-30 टाइप के आप क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो, ये थम्स अप करवा सकते हो, अच्छा लगा बुरा लगा उसको ड्रॉ करवाने को बोल सकते हो, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. अभी हम जो देखने वाले हैं नेक्स्ट पार्ट दैट इज LMS लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. So Google Classroom is like a free learning management system, while peer tech is totally for interactivity, for making student engagement. उसमें before class, during class और after class भी कर सकते हो. While Google Classroom में ये सब possible नहीं है, वो एक स्टोर हाउस है जहाँ पे हम चीजें डाल सकते हैं, लोग उससे निकाल सकते हैं. Yeah, more like an LMS. So now already question has directed us to the next topic, that is LMS. तो एक्चुअली हम क्या क्या करते हैं बच्चों के साथ जब एकेडमिकली जब हम कुछ भी करना होता है, पूरा उस बच्चा कॉलेज में आता है तब से उसका कोर्स खत्म होता है, तब तक हम क्या क्या एक्टिविटी करते हैं. Yes, those who are online can also answer in the chat box. I am opening it. Yeah.
Someone wants to see all the offline participants also.
So we will at the end we will do in group photograph. We will do like that something. So what are the different things we do during our academic activity? ऑफलाइन जब क्लास स्टार्ट होता है या अपना ईयर स्टार्ट होता है, एक तो अटेंडेंस लेते हैं, दूसरा ऑनलाइन है असेसमेंट करते हैं कि वैसा असाइनमेंट देते हैं, फिर लेक्चर लेते हैं, फिर आस्क क्वेश्चंस, फीडबैक, आइस ब्रेकिंग होती है. ठीक है, तो दिस आर द डिफरेंट एक्टिविटी व्हाट वी वांट टू डू विद द स्टूडेंट. ऑनलाइन में भी हम चाहते हैं कि वही सब हो, फीडबैक टू द क्लास, फीडबैक ऑफ द क्लास. मैं ऑनलाइन भी साथ में पढ़ता जा रहा हूँ जो अपने फैकल्टी की फीडबैक है. सो दिस आर द डिफरेंट एक्टिविटी व्हाट वी डू. ओके, ऑनलाइन कोर्स स्टूडेंट टीचर मैनेजमेंट है, कंटेंट शेयर करते हैं, डिलीवर करते हैं, कोलैबोरेशन करते हैं, टेस्टिंग लेते हैं, ग्रेड देते हैं और डिस्कशन. सो दिस आर द थिंग्स एज पर द CPM we have to do ऑनलाइन डिस्कशन, देन ऑनलाइन टेस्टिंग, असाइनमेंट, एवरीथिंग. तो ये ऐसा है कि अपने बॉडी पार्ट से अलग अलग अगर उसको एक साथ मिलाया जाए तो अपनी बॉडी हो जाती है. तो सेम में अगर इतनी सारी चीजें जब हमको करनी है, ऑल द डिफरेंट थिंग्स, इफ यू वांट टू डू इट टुगेदर, इट इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू LMS. एरोप्लेन मोड में डाल दो. So these are the different activities which we want to do. So if you want to do everything on one platform, अभी हम क्या करते हैं, किसी के लिए ईमेल यूज करते हैं, किसी के लिए व्हाट्सएप यूज करते हैं, किसी के लिए फेसबुक यूज करते हैं, कोई चीज हम उनको हार्ड कॉपी में देते हैं. तो क्या हो जाता है अलग अलग जगह पे, तो इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू ट्रैक कि चलो MCQ के मार्क कहाँ है तो कि गूगल फॉर्म में है, असाइनमेंट के मार्क कहाँ है तो कि वो हार्ड कॉपी में देखे गए हैं. तो सब कुछ एक जगह पे अगर हमको लाना है, एवरीथिंग वांट टू डू एट वन प्लेस, देन इट इज नथिंग बट अ LMS. फुल फॉर्म क्या है? तो एक्सप्लेनेशन सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी है. लर्निंग बिकॉज यू यूज इट टू डिलीवर एजुकेशनल कोर्स और ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम. मैनेजमेंट बिकॉज यू आर मैनेजिंग, सब कुछ ठीक करके एक मैनेज करके बैठे हैं इसलिए, बिकॉज इट हेल्प्स यू टू ऑर्गेनाइज दिस कोर्स, create them, change them, assign them to the student, grade them, etc. And system is, it is nothing but a software. So this is learning management system. So एक common term है, वो इसके जैसा है कि आप कौन सा कोलगेट यूज करते हो, है ना. टूथपेस्ट हम बहुत रेयरली पूछते हैं, तो दिस इज लाइक अ टूथपेस्ट. सो दिस इज लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम एंड इट इज अ वेब बेस्ड एप्लीकेशंस एंड इट इज यूज्ड इन ई-लर्निंग, डिफरेंट ई-लर्निंग कोर्सेज डिलीवर करने के लिए. अभी लेकिन जैसे हम आज यूज कर रहे हैं कि भी ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग आ गया है, कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑनलाइन एंड ऑफलाइन. सो उसमें भी नाउ वी आर स्टार्टेड यूजिंग दिस लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स. So what is the advantage? They can access anytime, any place and their own pace. अगर आपने बोला कि आज सबको यहाँ पे आना है और ये मटेरियल लेके जाना है तो आना पड़ेगा. आपने डाल दिया एलएमएस पे, जैसे कल रात को मैंने एक पीडीएफ डाला था, शायद एक दो लोगों ने देखा भी है, तो आप अपने टाइम पे कर सकते हो, है ना. तो स्टूडेंट कैन डू इट एनी टाइम, एनी प्लेस एंड एनी पेस. अगर मैं यूएसए में भी बैठा हूँ तो वहां से भी मैं एक्सेस करता हूँ, एग्जाम दे सकता हूँ, कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. सो इसमें कितनी चीजें होती है आप सोच लो, इससे ज्यादा हमको क्या चाहिए, सब कुछ आ जाता है. टीचर एंड स्टूडेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, प्रोग्राम, कंटेंट, कोर्स, ऑनलाइन इवेंट, इंटरनल कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, ट्रैकिंग, फॉरम, सपोर्ट, पोर्टेबिलिटी, क्योंकि मोबाइल से भी यूज कर सकते. फॉर एग्जांपल हम गूगल क्लासरूम ले लें, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव नॉट यूज्ड? नॉट यूज, सबने यूज किया है. तो सबको पता है हम लैपटॉप से भी यूज कर सकते हैं, टैबलेट से भी यूज कर सकते हैं, मोबाइल से भी यूज कर सकते हैं. तो ऐसे मोस्ट ऑफ द सिस्टम्स आर लाइक दैट. डिस्प्ले, स्कोर एंड ट्रांसक्रिप्ट एंड प्रोवाइड एसएसएल. ठीक है, तो ये सब पॉसिबल है. टाइम कम है इसलिए मैं ज्यादा थियरी में नहीं जा रहा हूं, लेकिन ये इंपॉर्टेंट है जहां पे ह्यूमन टच अपने को, वो एक्चुअली दैट इज नॉट द, इसके लिए इसकी वजह से नहीं आ रही है. तो यहाँ अपना रोल आता है. सॉफ्टवेयर तो बना के दे दिया, अपनी कॉलेज ने परचेज भी कर लिया. फॉर एग्जांपल सर बोल रहे थे यहाँ पे मॉडल करने वाला है, हमारे कॉलेज में हमने हमारा खुद का एलएमएस क्रिएट किया है ना, ब्लॉक बेड यूज किया, सब कुछ है. तो वो बॉक्स आ गया, अभी अंदर क्या रखना है वो आपको डिसाइड करना है. सो देयर आवर रोल्स कम्स. सो एज आई सेड, इट इज अ रैपिंग, नॉट द प्रेजेंट. आप कैसे लोगों को, बच्चों को गिफ्ट करते हो रैप करके, सो दैट विल कम इन द एलएमएस. अंदर का तो आपको ही डालना है. आप यूट्यूब का वीडियो डालो, आपका खुद का वीडियो डालो, जो भी करो, लेकिन उसका कंटेंट आपको बनाना है. वो पूरा खाली मकान आपको दे देंगे, कैसे उसको सजाना है, कैसे रहना है, किसे सबको रखना है, वो आपके ऊपर डिपेंड है. Yes, yes, after this presentation is there. So this is our role, how to create, where to create. Now if we go into the detail of how to create an e-content, again itself is a one-day workshop. Okay, so you can be an administrator, you can be an admin, teacher and student. These are the different roles which LMS has. Boss hoga, he will give a certain rights to you, certain rights to you. HOD को अलग rights मिलेंगे, स्टूडेंट्स को अलग राइट मिलेंगे, नॉन टेक्निकल टीचर्स को अलग राइट मिलेंगे. सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू हैव इनबिल्ट एसआरसी आल्सो ऑन आईसी आल्सो, उनका अलग रोल है. तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन द पर्पस, डिफरेंट रोल्स कैन बी क्रिएटेड. ठीक है. सो डिप्लॉयमेंट में क्या क्या हो सकता है, विच आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम अवेलेबल. वन इज ओपन सोर्स, हम सबको पता है मूडल, दैट इज ओपन सोर्स. लेकिन व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद इट, कि आपको कोई बंदा चाहिए कि जो इसको इंस्टॉल करके दे दे. वो आपको रॉ मटेरियल दे देता है कि ये आपको आटा दे दिया, अभी हम सिर्फ आपको आटा प्रोवाइड करेंगे फ्री में, आपको कैसी रोटी बनानी है, कैसे बनाना है, आपके लिए कोई बंदा चाहिए, कुक चाहिए जो आपको रोटी बना के दे, बाद में आप उसको खा सकते हैं. तो ओपन सोर्स, फ्रीली अवेलेबल, नो चार्ज, नथिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड. देयर आर डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस. एंटरप्राइज एलएमएस, देयर आर सर्टेन पेड एलएमएस. इफ यू हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट ब्लैक बोर्ड, अपना ये वाला ब्लैक बोर्ड नहीं, ब्लैक बोर्ड इज वन ऑफ द लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम दैट इज पेड. ओके. देन इंडस्ट्री स्पेसिफिक, कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल एक यूनिवर्सिटी है, खुद का क्रिएट करती है एलएमएस. ठीक है. ठीक है. तो कॉमर्शियल क्या क्या है, ब्लैक बोर्ड है, वेब सिटी है, ई कॉलेज, डिजायर टू लर्न एंड एम कोर्स. देन ओपन सोर्स है मूडल, सकाई, सेग, कोर्स वर्क एंड ईडीएक्स. हम सबने ईडीएक्स कोर्स का नाम सुना है. सो दैट इज आल्सो नथिंग बट वन लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. Yeah, that is also means that is commercial. Microsoft Teams is also one of the commercial learning management system. Open source. It is open source. It is paid नहीं, लेकिन मैंने बोला आपको आटा दे देगा, गुनना आपको है उसको, तो इसीलिए कोई बंदा चाहिए जो आपको बना के दे. सर्वर आपको खुद को परचेस करना है, आपको कुछ नहीं देगा एक्सेप्ट आटा. थाली भी आपको लानी है, पानी भी आपको लाना है, सब कुछ आपको लाना है. हाँ, कस्टमाइज पूरा आपको खुद को करना है. तो ये हम ये सब डिटेल में नहीं जा रहे हैं. तो बेसिकली इतनी चीजें होती है, रजिस्ट्रेशन, ऑथेंटिकेशन, मटेरियल, असेसमेंट, रिपोर्टिंग, ट्रेनिंग वर्कफ्लो वो हमको डिसाइड करना है कि कोई भी एलएमएस है उसके अंदर इतनी चीजें होनी चाहिए, ठीक है। मॉडल सबको पता है, सो ये सब चीजें मॉडल में हो सकती है। असाइनमेंट, बिग ब्लू बटन, बिग ब्लू बटन इज नथिंग लाइक अपर गूगल मीट और जूम, उनका खुद का है, 50 लोग तक उसमें फ्री में हो सकता है। देन फॉरम, लेसन, क्विज, विकी, बुक अपलोड कर सकते हो, फाइल, ये सब फ्री में कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। सो दिस इज मॉडल। मॉडल क्लाउड में फ्री वाला ऑप्शन दिए है 50 स्टूडेंट तक का। अगर आपको नहीं करना है तो मॉडल क्लाउड करके उनका खुद का सर्वर है जिसमें आप खुद जाके आपका आईडी पासवर्ड बना के आपका खुद का लॉगिन करके टीचर्स बन के आप 50 स्टूडेंट तक आप फ्री में सब कर सकते हो और 1 महीने तक कर सकते हो। हर 1 महीने पे नया अकाउंट खोलना पड़ेगा हम सबको जुगाड़ तो आता ही है, ठीक है। देन दूसरा ऐसा है, इसमें है ना कुछ एडवर्टाइजमेंट नहीं आती है। अगर आपको एडवर्टाइजमेंट चलती है और अनलिमिटेड चीज करनी है तो दिस इज वन मोर ऑप्शन। दिस इज टोटली मॉडल बेस्ड लेकिन फ्री में है। लेकिन आगे क्या नाम आएगा, फॉर एग्जांपल मैं मॉडल प्लेटफॉर्म बनाता हूँ जीएमसी भावनगर, तो इसी के अंदर बनाऊंगा क्या आएगा, jinomio.gmcbhavanagar.com, फ्री वाले में। अगर पेड करना है तो पैसे देने पड़ेंगे, तो उसका नाम हटा देगा jinomio.com। ऊपर लिखा है jinomio, नहीं ऊपर लिखा है, ऊपर लिखा है jinomio.com, ठीक है। ये फ्री में है लेकिन एडवर्टाइजमेंट बीच में आती रहेगी, ठीक है। देन दूसरी है दिस ओपन सोर्स LMS OLAT। We will share this whole PPT in a form of PDF in our participant group. ठीक है। देन ई फ्रंट करके है, ये बहुत रेयरली यूज होते हैं लेकिन है, ठीक है। देन फ्यूचर लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट, नेक्स्ट जेन करके है, KEWL नेक्स्ट जेन, बृहस्पति है, किसी सीनियर ने बनाया होगा ये जो दिस इज व्हाट क्रिएटेड बाय मी पर्सनली, वी हैव क्रिएटेड यूजिंग अ डेवलपर। इसमें हमने क्या क्या ऑप्शन रखे हैं। बेसिकली इन अ टीचर यू कैन टेक MCQ टेस्ट, यू कैन डिजाइन अ कोर्स, यू कैन डिजाइन सब्जेक्ट competency। बेसिकली क्या हुआ कि वी हैव अ गूगल क्लासरूम आल्सो एंड वी हैव अ Moodle आल्सो, आई एम यूजिंग एवरीथिंग, बट आई थॉट कि गूगल क्लासरूम में कम है, Moodle में बहुत ज्यादा है जो हम पहुंच नहीं पाते हैं। सो वी हैव हायर लोकल डेवलपर एंड वी हैव क्रिएटेड। सो क्या क्या हमको चाहिए, वी वांट टू हैव अ टेस्ट, एक आई विल जस्ट ट्राई टू ओपन इट हियर ऑन। मैं हमारी कॉलेज का ही खोल देता हूँ। सो वी आर यूजिंग इट EGMCB and it is available in Android app as well as ये iPhone में नहीं अवेलेबल है क्योंकि कॉस्टली है। तो सिंपली ये स्टूडेंट पार्ट है। इसमें देख लेते हैं, चलो कोई बात नहीं। तो हियर यू कैन सी ये कोर्स है, मटेरियल आप अपलोड कर सकते हो, असाइनमेंट दे सकते हो, टेस्ट ले सकते हो, MCQ टेस्ट है, टेस्ट रिजल्ट है। Okay, I think you can see it now. Yeah. ठीक है, यहाँ पे दिस इज स्टूडेंट साइड। These are the things options available to student। क्या आपको कोई नोटिस या लिंक भेजनी है, मटेरियल देना है तो मटेरियल वो जाके देख सकता है। ग्रुप डिस्कशन में ऑन टीचर साइड हमने रखा है कि क्या होता है किसने कितना डिस्कशन किया, तो देखिए चला बट टीचिंग मैंने कितना किया, बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू कैन गिव मार्क। देन MCQ टेस्ट, try to show you one MCQ test के अगर उसको जाना है तो डेमो कोर्स, कोई भी कोर्स आपका है, MBBS 2021 बैच है, we are using it, फिजियोलॉजी है और सिस्टम एंडिंग एग्जाम हमको लेनी है. I will not take more than 1 minute. This is योगा क्लास, उसकी हमने टेस्ट ली थी, तो पूरा यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. क्वेश्चन है, टाइम यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे भी है, so I can select it and I can just click done, skip or remind later. We can have an image like questions and everything. Okay, so such MC can be prepared. Then you have a videos uploaded. You can give an assignment. You can check assignment online. OSPI वो भी आप ऑनलाइन कर सकते हो. Logbook up to interns logbook can be available. Project submission and result. So in result also one whole slide will come ऐसे कि इतनी टेस्ट हुए, कितने मार्क है, क्या था, पास फेल, और अगर we want to add a certificate, we can add certificate too. So this
Will we get access to this and both?
I can provide a demo ID password in a group. You all can use it for a demo purpose. हाँ, डैशबोर्ड दिखा देते हैं. बाकी institutional purchase is required. I can ask the developer to give a free option for a month or so, though all of you can try. नहीं, this is locally we have created on our own. नहीं, this is not Moodle nor nothing like that. This is हाँ नहीं, वो तो पूरा रेडी है, आपको सिर्फ उसमें आपका क्रॉस क्रिएट करना है, everything will come on their own. So this is we have tried to make it user friendly and teacher friendly. Customized totally अपने नीड के लिए किया है.
मेरा पूछने का सवाल ये था कि आपने किस फोरम की यूज करके आपके
MySQL PHP. So now let's share it again.
Very nice.
Thank you. So these are one more platform is Zoho, ZOHO. इसमें भी बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. So we are not going to advantage. Simply last slide, and then Dr. Anu will be ready. Please, now it's your turn. So in LMS you can have a virtual classroom, certification, editor management, assessment, authentication, e-commerce. So lot many things can be done using LMS. Actually हमने ग्रुप पर रखा था, लेकिन मुझे लगता है हमने वैसे ही इतना सारा डिस्कस कर लिया है. ठीक है. So now I think it's over to Dr. Anu. Anu, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So it's over to you. I will be moving the slide as per your request.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Can I have the next slide, sir? The first slide of my presentation. So while we have the slides projected, a heartening good afternoon to all the participants, both offline and online. And I think for me personally, it was a great experience listening to these stalwart speakers who have had the first hand online experience, creating their own platforms, creating their own learning management systems, mentoring the students, monitoring the students, assessing the students, not only in the basic domains of knowledge and their basic content, what they carry
Just
back.
1 minute, Dr. 1 minute, huh?
Yeah.
Only 1 minute.
Yeah. Please take your time.
Yeah.
So
No, actually, your slide was not visible online. So I'm just trying to...
No. I know. I was just talking to the participants while the slides are projected.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, coming back. So I think it is heartening to have such a wonderful audience who's interacting with us. And personally speaking, it is also very educating and informing for me personally to learn from the stalwarts, to listen to them who've created their own learning management systems and are using it practically in the field of biochemistry, physiology. And it was also heartening to see assessment tools being used with Google and with other Kahoot and other things. So, I mean, we are all here for a purpose. We are here for a purpose that we learn from each other. And having said that,
one thing which I really liked about what Dr. Chinmay said, and that actually is the opening word for my presentation, is that so we have got everything in the package. So we have the glazy papers of the learning management system are there with us. But what goes inside is the content. So I would start package it is important. But anyways, what you put inside the box is equally important. So being teachers, being educators, for our students, it is very important for us to actually decide what goes inside.
Madam, your voice is
and
cracking little bit.
obviously what we package is also equally important. My voice is cracking. Just a second, sir. Is it better now?
Yeah. And can you see the slide?
Yes, I can see the slides. I think I'll switch off my, and just in case the voice cracks, just let me know in the chat box. I'll switch off my video.
Yeah, sure.
So good afternoon, everybody. And before I begin, I have a submission to make. What I present here is actually the hard work of Professor Ashok Dehradun. And we've been doing this e-learning for our students, our doctors and nurses in neonatology from the last almost 15 years now. And the inception, the creation, the front end, I think sir has put in a lot of hard work, and what I present here is the hard work which sir started with. And he actually, we were all his students, and gradually we became faculty for this online platform. And what I share here is the entire work is the honest submission that it is actually sir's creation, and we'll be sharing the journey that we have in the last 15 years. So what I show you on the slide, sharing two learning management system with you. The backend is Moodle for both of them, and we'll be seeing the front end, how it looks like. So why e-learning? So we heard Dr. Chinmay speaking about this, and why in India? So we have a lot of patient material. We have the patients all over, left, right, and center, huge amount of material to learn from. So why e-learning? The answer is there on the slide. So what we have is a standardized education. So it does not differ between a student sitting in AIMS or a student sitting somewhere else. That you get the content. The content is the king, so that is standard, or who is there in adequate numbers to train the students. In addition to that, it offers you the best way to disseminate evidence-based practices. We have huge numbers to be trained, and we don't have any commotion. So e-learning gives me the privilege of sitting at AIMS New Delhi and talking to you all. It is flexible. I may choose to answer a question at a particular time, and I may actually choose to have an evening session from 8:30 to 10:30. So it is flexible. And in addition to that, it is also self-paced. So this was the understanding, and this was the need which was required, and that is why e-learning came in its first place. So in addition to that platform, we can use it down phones. So you go down to the medical field, you talk to the frontline healthcare professionals working in newborn care units. Everybody is comfortable with smartphones. They want short videos. They don't want long lectures. And additional thing which has come up is blended learning. So you deliver the content, and then you come for the hands-on training for resuscitation or for a particular experiment in physiology or biochemistry. The next slide, please. Yeah. So even today, somebody could not hear me. So there is a limited availability of education, IoT connection. We may not be literate, as Professor Dehradun just said. How do you actually end up training the teachers? Sometimes I might be just juggling from one place to the other. There is lack of time. As we see in learning management system, the education would be huge dropouts, logs would be dwindling. Sometimes the video may not stream because of lack of internet. It is also a Herculean task to keep participants motivated. especially those working in the clinical field. Students form a different group altogether. But what to do about people who are actually in practice doing work? So how do you actually keep them on board with your learning management system? It commands a lot of self-discipline. If I say my students have to be muted, we expect that they should be muted. Right. So these things, Dr. Nandini rightly said that students have issues and you can not keep it within control for everybody. But then self-discipline is the key. Computers and phones may not be accessible to all. Next slide, please. So what I'm going to do is to demonstrate two Moodle-based platforms, and we will also talk about evidence that it works. I'm going to demonstrate the front end to all of you. We have some mandatory tasks which we have incorporated, without which you cannot go to the multiple choice question quiz. So you have a knowledge content, you have a video content, you have a reading content, and finally, after you spend time, so I can make these activities mandatory. Half an hour you are not. So what will happen is you give them a video, they'll open the video and they'll go to the washroom or they'll do this mandatory, and then finally you tell them. The next slide. Yeah, thank you so much. So this is the first platform, which is Top India. So this is www.ontop, Online Neonatal Training Orientation Program. And this, the backend is Moodle. This is what we have been using to train our doctors and nurses for the last 15 years. The next slide, please. So one puts in a username and a password at the desired places. So this is generated at our end. So it is not something like a self-registered platform. You have to request the team sitting at AIMS to enroll in a particular course, and we generate username and password for you, and then you log in the course. So you put your username, you put your password, and you log in the course. The next slide, please. The next slide. Yes. So once I log in, I can actually enroll into the sick newborn course or the newborn nursing course. So we use this platform both for doctors and for nurses. And the latest course started in July. These courses run over a period of about 3 months, that is about 12 weeks. And each week has a designated, defined teaching activity. Next slide, please. So this is the sick newborn course, and this is the last year's sick newborn course. So we have specific key activities which are there, and this page actually gives me the brief introduction of the course, which actually is a particular course. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. So there are week specific topics. You have defined objectives. So that is what is important in each learning activity. As I said, the user should know and understand what the user is going to benefit out of that course. So on the top, you have learning objectives. On the bottom, you have a topic like feeding. So you have some webinars, you have some videos, and you have some PDF. You can make these tasks mandatory so that once the students does this, only then the students will be permitted to attempt the quiz online. Next slide, please. So this was something like asynchronous. So you expect and you give them time that, yes, dear students, complete this activity over a period of 1 week. So what happens after 1 week? What is the kind of action that I as a student am looking at? So this is a discussion forum. So I have a case-based study on the topic that I did. For example, in a feeding of a newborn, my immediate case study would be, okay, what are the other modes of feeding that you use? Or for that matter, you are working in a newborn care unit and your baby cannot take mother's breastfeed. What would you use? Or the case study could actually start with, have you seen Paladay? Or case study could start with, how do you feed in a mother who's hepatitis B positive or HIV positive or CMV positive? So the teacher, now here the responsibility of the mentor and the teacher is much, much more than simply opening the quiz station to the student and allowing him or her to attempt. The responsibility of the mentor is post a case study in the discussion forum. The student will click on the answer and then start typing and building the thread. The mentor has to answer and modulate that discussion forum. Suppose one student says we can give breastfeeding in hepatitis B, or we can give breastfeeding in HIV, or CMV contraindicates breastfeeding. So the mentor has to actually modulate the discussions and finally give a synthesis or a summative answer at the end of each discussion thread. These activities are timed. They are opened for a particular duration and they are in context with the lesson which is ongoing. ऐसे नहीं कर सकते हैं कि हमने आज डाल दिया feeding और questions हम पूछ रहे हैं sepsis पे. So whatever the mentor is asking is for that particular week. After that week is over, that week is closed, the discussion thread is closed, and we go on to the next week. So one particular topic in a week with a case study or 2 or 3 case studies mentored by the monitor during that particular week. Next slide, please. So what we discussed was the discussion forums. As you can see here, we also have a hot topic forum. For example, suddenly a new article appears in Lancet and you want to share it with everybody. So you keep an icon of hot topics forum, you load that article. Obviously it would have copyright. You cannot load the articles which are not available freely online, but then you can always load the abstract and tell them to read at their own ease. And then you bring out critical comments from the audience on that. So you actually are trying to engage them, or you're trying to give them some tasks, and then you are trying to assess how many of them are actually involved in that task. So latest news hot topics forum is some of the way that you actually try to engage the students. Case study, obviously I just discussed about. Then we have something which we call synchronous interaction. That means you sitting at HIMS Dehradun and I sitting at AIMS, we are having a live chat session. You're asking me questions and we are answering, and simultaneously I'm asking you questions and you are answering me back. Yes, this is the way we actually synthesize a case study. Having said that, we have weekly online webinars in addition, which are again live. So the mentor would speak on the particular topic. There is something like a pre-record which is already there. To improve interaction, we have weekly live webinars by the faculty in that particular field. And after this material has been read, webinars have been seen, the student finally attempts the multiple choice question. Next one, please. Now, obviously, the assessment is the key. So if you don't assess them, why should I be bothered in the first place to listen to this particular teacher? Students are very smart. So the teacher has to outsmart the students. They know that the teacher is going to assess me by this particular MCQ. I'll go online, I'll sit with my friend as my buddy, and I'll attempt all the MCQs. Wow, perfect score, 100%. No. This platform can actually help us guess this. How do we do that? We have MCQ scores. Single attempt, we keep a basic pass percentage, easy questions, factual questions, some questions which require some analysis, some thinking, some conceptual issues also. Discussion forums have 25% of the weightage. Again, the student can outsmart, they can just copy paste. So we have a tracking way that we have their IP addresses. In addition to that, we also mark their online chats and online webinars. What does this mean? This means that it is not my work, is not a person A work or person B work. We have a team sitting which is actually analyzing flexibility and versatility to assess the scores, to perform item analysis, as Dr. Sanjay Bedi was talking. But we also weigh, or we also take weightage of the discussion forum posts, the online chats and the online webinars. The next one, please. So I talked a lot, so I need to give you proof of concept. So this is what is proof of concept. This is 2012, and this is we did for 7 countries in this year. So India, Bangladesh, and Maldives. So all authors are marked on this slide, and hats off to all of them. This was one step forward from only online learning. All of them helped us. This was done primarily for nurses, and we actually did that skill scores before and skill scores after. So the next slide actually shows me the score, improvement in the skills and exorbitant participant satisfaction. The next slide, please, Dr. Chinmay. Yes. So though they are blurred, you need not worry about them. But what we can see is that there was improvement in the skill scores, improvement in the knowledge scores, and what we actually were looking at was participant satisfaction. So did the participants feel overwhelmed? There were 102 participants in this course, and almost 80% of them were there till the end of the course with us. It was 12 weeks, and it was great, huge effort by the mentors and the facilitators to keep the things alive at the end of 12 weeks. The next one, please. So we have been having, we actually changed a little bit of gears during COVID, and we launched the COVID courses, as everybody did. So launched both for India and for Bangladesh, huge amount of receptance. And till date, we've trained nearly 5,000 doctors and 3,000 nurses. It has indeed been an intensive effort by all the 50 plus faculty involved from all over India, and mentorship is entirely Professor Derari's. So the ball is still rolling rapidly, and we hope to cross 10,000 mark very soon. This was 2011, and now we are in 2022. The blue icons actually show us the sick newborn course, and the red icons actually show us the essential newborn nursing course. The next one, please. So this is Saral. Saral is the AIMS student platform, and each undergraduate and postgraduate student has a specific user ID and password to the Saral platform. It is customized to a particular student. So when I open as a teacher, I see that, yes, these are the 6th semester, 8th semester, or maybe 9th semester teaching activities that I have for that particular year. It also tells me that there are some the lectures which are going to come up, and it sends me an automatic reminder. And for the student, it tells them that, yes, Dr. Anu or Dr. Derari or Dr. Person X has actually loaded up the presentation. Please go through it. So you can use it both as a flipped classroom. You can use it as a primary online learning, and you can also use it as a hands-on training session. And the next slide actually shows the live workshop of neonatal resuscitation. So what we do is we give them the content, and then they come and do hands-on practice in the SET facility, which is the skill e-learning telemedicine facility. The next slide, please. So perfect amalgamation of e-learning with hands-on training for our undergraduate and our postgraduate student and all disciplines. SET facility gives us the platform of having a live simulation lab and helps us to amalgamate the knowledge base with the actual hands-on learning. So finally, to conclude, I have just about 5 take-home messages. Number 1, students learn, we also learn. So we share the best practices. So I think each step, each presentation that we participate in, it's a huge activity for the teacher also to learn from the students. You do cross-cultural exchange of ideas. I had huge, enormous learning today. And there is always a desire to do better among participants. अरे यार वो कर रहा है तो मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकता? And I must tell you, I mean, not that I am a very internet platform for years together. It's if you have the desire to do better, if you have the desire to be in line with whatever way the education is reeling towards, and this is the way forward. So we have cross-cultural exchange of ideas. We always inculcate the desire to do better among all the participants. You can make the activities mandatory. You can add blended learning. You can add skills to this. But once established, yes, it is easy and the cost-effective tool for Generation X. With that, I am ready to close my session and ready for any questions which the offline or the online audience would love to ask me. Thank you so much.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any way to assess skills or impart skills through online medium?
So what you can do is not actual skills, Dr. Rekha, but what you can do is you can give them some e-tasks in which the course can be designed in such a way that if they complete a particular, so it depends upon what your learning objectives are. So there is a way that you can actually design online simulation. I can talk in those terms. So you can have, for example, you want that particular, you design an online simulation platform. And what you do is that suppose you say that the heart rate is 30 and the baby is not breathing. So that person actually picks up that particular scale and puts it on the newborn. And then that newborn actually gives you a signal that yes, the work that you performed is absolutely appropriate. So what I'm saying is you can test applied cognition to some extent, you can test applied knowledge, but there is no replacement for the hands-on skill that you actually do in the actual simulated environment when you do it hands-on.
Any other questions? I request Vanita madam to take over.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Madam, please be there. We would like to have a group photograph with
Yes,
your
I'm
online
there.
presence.
No, I'm not. I'm there since morning, sir. I'm there since morning. And I have the pleasure to listen to all of you, Herculean. I mean, wonderful presentations. Lot of learning for me as well, sir.
So, I would like to thank first all the speakers, especially Dr. Anu, Dr. Chinmay, and such an elaborate. I was amazed to see the amount of background work that they've already done, and they've already developed a customized LMS for their medical colleges. I mean, really commendable, really commendable. The talk from Dr. Namrata was very, very praiseworthy. I mean, I still remember literally this 1 year, we did a FAMER, and she pursued medical education so well, and her content and her talk was really A++, I would say. So I would like to just sum up that whatever you've learned today, was it useful? Yes. So, yes, sir. Thank you. And really, all my resource faculty have been working for this for the last 6 months, no, sir? Yes. 6 months from the time Julie actually announced the brochure. There are different email group, WhatsApp group, and full discussion with so many online meetings regarding this. And this is called dedication and how much they work. I would actually see with their WhatsApp and the email group that they have. So, any other, we would like to have feedback from your participants. The hard work is reflecting in the session. Okay, so that's the
only thing I can say that because this is the beginning of the e-learning, most of it, and whenever we ask help, please help. Only one request. Whenever we ask help, please guide. Otherwise, it was wonderful, very nice.
So, Chinmay, you got a very good suggestion that whenever they ask for any help, I mean, whatever we are there.
Please discuss. Sometimes, because this is beginning for us.
Yes, sir.
E-platform. Suppose I give some, ask a query, please respond.
Definitely. I think
50% we retain and 50% we forget. So share to kar diyo, but please help all of them. In fact,
Actually, frankly speaking, it was started with the Bedi sir. Sir has asked me before, I think 10 years, to have a session on Google Drive. And from there, it has been started. So around many faculty has been trained by MU India, and we all try to learn each other. We request all the online participants to have your camera on. Can I keep this laptop here? Yes.
The speakers and the teachers and the work done was very much evident. In fact, I was impressed by seeing the work. I mean, the amount of energy and the amount of enthusiasm which was being reflected even before the session had started. And it was kind of very energetic to know how the team was working. I mean, even before the start of the workshop. And after attending this e-learning session, it has been a wonderful experience. And definitely the websites which had been shared will definitely enhance our learning activities with the students. I'm sure the students will enjoy it now. Because e-learning is one thing which students also feel enjoyable when we teach, and it will definitely enhance our work. teaching one thing and थोड़ा सा आगे आके बोले ना सब लोग आपको
वो ऑनलाइन वाले ऑफलाइन वाले को देखना चाहते हैं
they are waving their hands, everybody is waving their hands. We are closing the session. You can just say few lines, one or two lines. I think it's very important that I have been observing. One very important feedback I want to give, like since morning I have been observing that how you as organizing have been managing the hybrid learning, maintaining the here and there technical glitches. I think that's very important as role model that you have shown it to us now, how to manage face to face plus online.
Any feedback from online? You can just put in the chat box or a WhatsApp group.
Thanks to Chinmay sir who has actually handled everything. मैं हूँ ना सर ने कहा तो हम करेंगे हाँ सर 3 cheers for Chinmay sir.
Without team, nothing is possible. And we sometimes say full form of team is together of everyone achieves more. So I think we can have a be there for a few minutes online. We all can come here. Certificates. बाद में देंगे पहले group photo हो जाए.
We should have feedback from students also.
Yeah.
जल्दी से they should understand how much the faculty has to go through.
So just I would like to introduce one of our dean madam, Dr. Nandini madam is there. You all must be watching videos of Morbi in Dehradun. So madam actually is there Morbi, but also her passion is so much there. She is also attending our workshop along with the taking care of administration at Morbi. Thank you madam. Then we have Dr. Hemangini. Anybody wants to say anything?
I want to say something. हाँ जी सर आप हमेशा हमें गाइड करते रहना ई लर्निंग में.
Sure.
Sir, I want to say something.
Chinmay?
Yes, Dr. Hema.
Yeah, glad to see you here, and I wish to inform everybody that you're my co-fellow for 2008 FEMA, and you have always been an inspiration to get things moving, and you've been very consistent in it. So hats off to you. Congratulations. And Bedi sir to evergreen hi hai hi. So we keep learning from him. Good to see you, sir. I also got to know ma'am today, Dr. Anu.
आज हमें पता चला है कि कोविड टाइम में सभी टीचर्स ने बहुत ही ज्यादा हार्ड वर्क किया है. It's literally show, and I, on behalf of us, I really thank all the teachers for their hard work.
So all of you please be there. 1 minute please.
सर यहाँ आ जाते तो ये स्क्रीन का फोटो आ जाएगा और इधर
हाँ यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं यहाँ पे
आइए सर.
अच्छा ये भी रखना है.
हाँ ये ऑनलाइन वाले भी आ जाएंगे ना अपना ग्रुप.
सर लेकिन इधर तो ये टेलीकास्ट हो रहा है खाली.
हाँ लेकिन ऑनलाइन तो ऐसे भी आ रहा है.
हाँ चलेगा तो इसको
चलेगा इसको ना बच्चे आ जाएंगे.
हाँ
आ जाओ थोड़ा सा पीछे
वहाँ से टीचर सब आ जाए.
आ जाएंगे हम साइड के. हाँ बस ठीक है. ओ ये ऐसे एक सेकंड प्रोजेक्शन की लाइन है जो हम बंद कर सकते हैं.
चलो ऐसे कोई बात नहीं करने देंगे.
आप लोग करोगे.
हाइब्रिड फोटोग्राफर्स.
Thank you. Really commendable. Group में share करना.
We can just tell them. So everyone, thank you very much. I think एक मिनट इनको बाय बोलते थे. Thank you very much everyone, and we will ask organizer to send you a certificate online. Thank you Anu ma'am, Namrata ma'am, everyone. Without you, it might not have been possible to conduct this workshop. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
It was
sir.
an amazing experience, sir.
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you, Bedi, sir. Thank you, Chinmay, sir.
There is no workshop in the afternoon. So this workshop is over and we'll be updating in the group. इसके वो ऑनलाइन नहीं है. Only this is the only workshop which is online. ऑनलाइन तो ये एक ही है.
तो मेरे साथ एक भी नहीं है